Hello, everyone. This is Jarvis S. Scott with What's Happening in Birmingham. Today, I have the honor and pleasure. I like to say this man is one of the original What's Happening in Birmingham, former Birmingham Mayor, Dr. Richard Arrington Jr. Mayor Arrington, thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Great. So, Mayor Arrington has came on the podcast today for a very special reason. One, we got the upcoming May 24th, 2022 elections coming up. And two, he wants to endorse Paul Rand for judge. So, Mayor Arrington, tell us why you're endorsing Paul for judge.
Paul Rand has devoted his life to working as a public defender for a lot of our people who cannot afford to have an attorney. I think he would make a great judge. I think he would dispense justice with mercy. We have so many judges who throw the book at people of less privilege, give them longer terms than they actually deserve. Paul understands that, and I believe he'd be a great judge, and I ask people to vote for him for that reason.
Okay, so, I know you've been retired from politics for a long time, and it's very rare that you go out and you do endorsements, and I think you're doing a video endorsement. What was it about Paul that made you say, hey, I want to go all in for him?
I think I was very fortunate a few days ago at a conference to meet Paul. And for some reason, I was really impressed by Paul. And we chatted for a few minutes. And then at that same conference, I met a young lady who said, she turns out she was working for Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And I also believe that it's very important that we get some biracial cooperation in achieving the goals we are fighting for of equal justice. And that we remember in our history that we've always had to have white supports working with blacks. That when we march, we have white people march with us because they believe in freedom for us too. And I immediately thought, Paul, I think, is that kind of a man. And that's why I'm really working for Paul, asking my friends. It's been a long time since I've done any kind of campaigning, but I think this is a worthwhile effort here. We have many young people who are incarcerated today, and not that they don't belong in prison, but they were given long terms because they didn't have attorneys to represent them, or they didn't have good public defenders and what have you. One man steals my rooster, a poor man steals my rooster, and the judge throws the book at him. A rich man steals my rooster, and the judge gives him a minimum sentence. That is a problem. That's not mercy. We're losing the whole idea of mercy in our sentencing, and we have a lot of young men who are doing extra time for crimes that many people do very short time for.
Well, I'm glad that you kind of bring it home because I always agree that sometimes the judges on the ballot is the most important position because those are the people that's going to affect you or someone livelihood the most.
Yes, absolutely. And when you had someone who has been working with what I call less privileged people, like we were, as we've come up over time, we have many other people who are still coming up, who don't fully understand the law, who can't afford attorneys. We depend upon public defenders. We need public defenders who understand the role and the task that these people have had, and who will deal with them firmly, but will deal with them fairly. And I believe Paul Rand is one of those persons.
Okay, one final thing I want you to do, of course you're endorsing Paul Rand for judge, but can you just tell me just the importance of this election, May 24th, coming up?
We've got to turn out. So many things are happening, so people have been working, but some people are getting discouraged because the voting bill didn't pass, or because we didn't get a second congressional district here in black district in Alabama. But we can't give up. It's a long struggle, and we have to turn out for ourselves, for the next generation. We have to hook generation to generation so that we continue to make the progress that we all want to see. We do have opportunities in this country, but you have to vote. Freedom starts with voting.
All right, well, thank you, former Mayor Arrington, for coming on today. You heard Mayor Arrington say, you all please go out and vote, and he wants you especially to vote for his friend Paul Rand. So thank you for watching this podcast. Please check out what's happening Birmingham.com for more interviews. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out the audio version of this interview on Apple Podcasts. Thank you all again. Have a great day. Bye-bye, and go vote May 24th.